Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about business English. We'll be going over some useful vocabulary words, completing a fill in the blank exercise, and doing a little dialogue. So we'll use some of the phrases we learn to respond to prompts. If you guys are interested in getting updates about my future classes, you can let me know on Facebook, and I'll put my name in the chat box for you. Hey, Daniel, how are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm doing very well.
It's excellent to see you. It's been a couple weeks, I think, at least.
Maybe a week. I was on vacation on the
See,
beach.
you were on vacation and I was
Yes,
on vacation, so it's been a
yes.
while.
Uh,
So how
as
was
you
your
know,
vacation?
very well, very relaxing with my children. The weather was awesome.
It's
The
hard to
water,
relax with kids running around, though. They're a lot of work, huh?
yes, the water very hot and very well, very well.
Beautiful. Sounds great.
Yes, yes. I'm ready for English again.
Awesome. Glad you're relaxed and refreshed
Yes.
and ready to be back.
Are you still in Brazil?
I am still in Brazil. I took a short week-long vacation here, and now I'm back, but I'll be here until November, like the middle of November, more or less.
Okay. Very well. It's winter
Right.
there, no?
Yeah, it's winter. It's kind of like spring right now, but it's not very cold usually. I
No.
have this jacket just because I'm a
Yes.
big baby about the cold.
Okay.
All right, good to have you, Daniel and Andre.
Yeah, perfect.
Did I say
Hello.
it?
How are you?
Yeah. Yay! I'm very well. Where are you from, Andre?
I'm from Czech Republic.
Excellent. It's nice to meet you.
Me too.
So, tell us something about yourself, maybe why you're studying English.
I study English because I think I will use it in my future work. I just finished my studies and I'm looking for a new job and English is something which I really need. So when I have enough time, so I learn.
Excellent. You're being prepared. Good
Yes,
strategy.
yes, yes.
Awesome. And Sergio, welcome to class.
Hi, Mika. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Sergio? Where are you? You're a traveler. You're always in a new location.
Yeah, but now I'm in Recife, just
Mm.
for today, and in the night I'm back to Rio.
Already? How
Yeah,
long was your stay in Recife?
just for this weekend and last day.
Got
Monday.
it. So most of the time you're in Rio, but you have family in Recife, is that it?
Yeah, my family is in Recife,
Got it.
and that's the reason when I have to work here, I spend the weekend with them.
Got it. So you spend all your weekends in Recife?
No, 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 no. When
It's
I have
far.
a opportunity, yeah, when I have an opportunity to work in Northeast, yeah, I
Mm.
enjoy this time for spend with my families. But usually I spend most of the weekends in Rio.
Nice. You must get a lot of beach time between Recife and Rio. There's a lot of beach happening.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
All right, so let's get started. I'm going to put the notes for class in the chat box for you guys. We're going to be talking about conference calls and business English today. And I will screen share for you as well. So to start this conversation off, I'd like to know what field you guys work in. Andre, let's start with you. You said you're practicing your English because you're looking for a job. So what field do you work in? What job are you looking for?
I'm looking for some office job on sales or on purchase department. So, for example, as a buyer.
So working with large corporations or
Yeah,
small
exactly,
stores?
exactly. Yes, yes.
Got it. Very cool. English should be helpful there.
Yeah, I think English is necessary in that film, in that companies.
Sometimes, yeah. All right. Daniel, tell us what field you work in.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
What field do you work in?
Fields.
Like your area of expertise in your job. For instance, I'm a professor or a teacher. So what are you?
I'm looking for a big construction because I am surveyor and I would like to work in a construction like Panama or maybe in railway in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of big construction.
Very cool. Spending some time in Panama would be nice.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Daniel. And Sergio, tell us a little bit about the field or job that you work in.
I'm working as a territorial sales manager, and yeah, I'm totally familiar with this. And when I saw your talk about this class, and oh, maybe it's another one conference call. I enjoy it, and yeah, I work with this most of these words. It's really familiar with me, with my job, and yes, maybe I can contribute as well.
Excellent. I'm sure you will help us out during this class. You probably have a lot of experience with this. So let's get started with the list of vocabulary. I'm going to say the phrase and ask you guys to define it. The first one is Q&A section. Can anyone define Q&A section?
Questions and answers?
Yeah.
Is possible.
So, a period of time to ask questions and get answers. Excellent. How about colleague?
Co-worker.
So that would be someone on the same level as you, someone you work with, but probably not your boss.
No.
How about quarterly report?
A classmate in a job.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. A classmate. So you could have a partner in school you call a colleague, or on the same level in work. Excellent definition. How about the next one, quarterly report?
This is results for first part of year, for first quarter of year.
Exactly. So like a fourth of the year. Thanks. How about revenue? Anyone have an idea on revenue?
It's profit.
Similar to profit. Any other tips on the word revenue?
Yeah, profit, income as well.
Profits, income, these are terms that are related. Revenue is usually the amount of money you make over what you already spent. All right. Next up, we have forecast. This one's a common term.
What
is a forecast? So what is the weather forecast? What do they tell us in the weather forecast?
What do you think about the next the weather is going to do?
It's something like expectation of weather, of my expectation, for example, of today's weather.
Exactly. Great definition. Prediction of some kind. All right, how about agenda?
Type of schedule.
Like schedule, usually for a specific period of time, like the agenda for the day or the agenda for the meeting.
Or in a meeting, the agenda in a meeting, or...
Exactly. And Lucas, welcome to class. Nice to meet you, Lucas.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Happy to be here. What do you do, Lucas, or what fields do you work in?
Hello, my name is Lucas. I am developing to learn English.
Excellent. So we're reviewing vocabulary words right now, and then we will be using those vocabulary words in sentences.
Okay.
Next vocabulary word is innovative. Can anyone help us define the word innovative?
In this...
Go ahead.
Something very new, very...
New.
Modern.
Those are some good synonyms. What else can we say about innovative?
New ideas, new ways how to do something.
Yeah, usually some kind of inspiration on something else. So we use technology that already exists, but we create on top of it. There's more or new things on top of what already exists. How about hold on?
Wait, to wait.
What about hang on? Or actually, I think that should be hang up.
To answer a phone ringing. Or no?
It's kind of the opposite of that, actually. Hang up would be like to get off the phone.
Okay.
What about wrap up?
Wrap up. I don't know.
To pick up something.
To what? Pick up?
To pick something in something, in some envelope, or how to say.
All right, so we have two ways we could possibly define this. The way you're talking is very literal, like if you want to put a present inside of paper, we could wrap up the present. But if I use it figuratively in a conversation and I say, well, this class is wrapping up, or let's wrap this class up, what does it mean then?
Let's finish. Let's complete this project. Or something like that.
Yeah, to start to wind down or finish things at the end of a meeting or the end of a conversation. What about turn over? Turn over. These phrasal verbs can be tricky.
Turn over.
Yeah.
I've been hearing this word when the company can't hold on its employers, maybe cause the situation, financial situation, or something else. Okay, this my turnover this month was 10-15%. That means the 15 of the employees was fired or just laid off.
Yeah. So when employees are changed, or when anything is changed, really, you can say turn over the conversation to another person, or turn over as in employees that come and go. How about log in?
Turn over the omelette, could be.
Hell yeah, turn over the omelet. That's a pretty literal sense. So we're changing the side of the omelet. We turn it over. Exactly. Great example. Comes with a good visual, too. Let's define the word log in.
I'll. Okay. Mm,
Logging into a computer, a database, or system, something like that.
Exactly. And what about rolling out? You're rolling out some new cookies.
It's the release for the new profile or no profile, new models for new product line.
Yeah, exactly. Presenting a new product. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to use those vocabulary words in the sentences below. And some of them, particularly the phrasal verbs, you'll have to change a little sometimes to add them in. So you might have to conjugate the phrasal verb in a new way. So keep that in mind as we fill in the blanks. Sentence number 1. Sergio, can you read it for us and then try to fill in the blanks?
We've come up with some innovative ways to increase revenue.
Innovative ways to increase revenue. Perfect. Thanks, Sergio.
Okay.
Number 2, Andre, can you help us out? Read number 2 and then try to fill in the blanks.
I think we finished everything on the agenda for today. So let's, and I'm not sure, let's wrap this up quickly.
Perfect. Excellent job. And that would be agenda with a soft G.
Agenda. Okay, thank you.
Number 3, Lucas, do you think you could read and fill in the blanks for number 3?
I will hold on the conversation.
What did you say? Hold on?
I will roll down the conversation.
That's not the best phrasal verb to use, but you're right that we need a phrasal verb there. So choose a different of those phrasal verbs.
Okay. I will ring the conversation or no?
Not quite. We talked about one set of phrasal verb that talks about change, right?
Okay. Let me see. Login. I will log in. No.
Not quite. It's a phrasal verb that talks about change. We talked about employees that get fired and hired and quit. Does anyone have an idea what phrasal verb I'm referring to?
Turn over.
Turnover. So
Turnover.
Lucas, try to use turnover in sentence 3, and also you have one more word to add in there.
Okay, I will turn over the conversation to my, I don't know what's the verb, for my agenda.
Could be. So let's talk about this. We have, I'll turn over the conversation, or another way you could put it is, I'll turn the conversation over to my. Now what do we need here? We need a noun, right? Because it's my. But agenda means something like schedule. So choose another noun from this list.
Revenue.
Revenue means something like profit. So you're saying you're going to change the conversation to revenue? Could be. It's a possibility, but I think there's a better one. Does anyone else have a suggestion for the last word there?
Okay.
I will turn on the conversation over to my forecast, for example,
Colleague.
or my quarterly report.
Right. So a lot of those are possibilities. What I had in mind with this one was colleague. So you were going to say, and I think I heard someone say that. So what I had in mind for this sentence was to say, I'll turn the conversation over to my colleague, as in allowing someone else to voice their opinion and take control of the conversation. However, I think you guys are right that probably more than one of those nouns would work well. You might be talking about spending, and then you say, oh, I'll turn the conversation over to revenue. So in that way, you could say, you could talk about a change in the conversation. That would also work. All right, that was a tough one. Let's go to number 3. This time, Daniel, do you think you can read it and fill in the blank for us?
We will be innovate the new models in December.
What did you say for the blank? Innovate?
Innovate, yes.
Okay. So innovate can be a verb. In the vocabulary list, it's an adjective, but it's possible to be a verb. The only thing is, here, it's a little bit strange to use the unconjugated form of the verb right after the unconjugated form of the verb to be. So if you wanted to use it there, you'd have to change it a little bit and use a different verb as well.
Okay. Hung. No. Revenue.
Not quite. We're looking for a verb in that blank. So you're right about needing a verb there. You just chose the wrong one. We talked a little bit about creating something new. Forecast, like a prediction. So we will be forecasting the new models in December. Would make sense, like predicting the new models. That would be okay, but there's still a better verb we could use. So instead of saying you're going to predict the new models, how could we say we're going to show the new models? Like they're being made and they're starting production. Does anyone have an idea what verb we might be able to use here?
Yes, I would use rolling out.
Yeah, rolling out would be the best one for this blank, or that's what I had in mind. If we say we will be rolling out the new models in December, it means that the models are in production and by December they'll be ready to show. All right. Number 5, we're back to Sergio. Can you read that one for us and try to fill in the blank?
Yep. Now that the report is over, it's time for the hang up.
Okay, maybe if the report is over, you hang up. But what if I have like a question? What if someone reported and then I wasn't sure I understood properly and I had a question?
Oh, to hold on.
So, we know it's a noun. We definitely need a noun. And we already used revenue, and I think we used agenda already. We already used colleague. So what does that leave us with? What nouns are left?
Forecast.
Forecast is one of the ones left. What else is left?
Quarterly report.
That's another one, but there's still one more left.
Left. May.
Huh?
Oh, agenda.
Nope, that one we already used. So all the nouns, we said colleague is a noun, but we used it. Agenda is a noun, but we used it. We have forecast, quarterly report,
Revenue.
revenue. That one we already used, but it would be a good one. What else? We've got one more noun on this list. It's at the very top.
Revenue. Quarterly report, forecast, agenda. Another two.
You're still missing one more noun. It's the Q&A section.
Q&A section.
So after a report, if you have a question, you might need a Q&A section. Now that the report is over, it's time for the Q&A section.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of a tough one. Thanks, though.
Michelle, may I have a question? It's better to say Q&A section or question and answer section?
Both are commonly used. I think frequently you hear Q&A because it's quicker than saying question and answer. But if you want to be clear and explicit, then yeah, saying the question and answer section would also make a lot of sense.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. How about number 6? And this time I'm going to ask Andre to help us out. Read number 6 and try to fill in the blanks.
Based on the quarterly report, the forecast for the new year looks great.
Awesome. Well done. Perfect sentence. Lucas, can you read number 7 and try to fill in the blanks?
Okay. Let me see. Could you ring a minute while I log in the Skype?
Log in is perfect. And what did you put in the first blank? Did you say hang up?
Yes. Isn't ring up?
Well, hang up is when you're ending a call. So that's a possibility. Could you hang up a minute while I log into Skype? But there's one more. There's a phrasal verb set that means to wait. Can you wait a minute while I log into Skype? So what is a similar meaning in the phrasal verbs?
Okay.
So which phrasal verb would be best? A good synonym for wait.
Could you wait a minute while I log in the Skype?
Yeah, if that was one of our vocabulary words, it would be perfect. But there's a synonym to wait that's on our vocabulary list. Does anyone know what the synonym is here?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Exactly. So the best way to phrase this sentence would be, could you hold on a minute while I log into Skype?
Hold on, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And Daniel, read the last one for us.
Let's summarize before we hang up the phone.
Yep, perfect. All right, so those were some tough sentences, but you guys did an excellent job and we got all of them done. Now we're going to do some sentences of our own. We're going to write one sentence and I'm going to assign you each 2 words. So you get 2 words that you try to combine into one sentence. Sergio, use the words colleague and login.
Okay.
Andre, use the words quarterly report and wrap up. Lucas, try revenue, and hold on.
Okay.
Daniel, Q&A section, and hang up. Amr, welcome to class.
Hello, Mikkel. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Amr?
I'm doing fine, thanks a lot.
It's good to have you with us today. Right now we're writing sentences using the vocabulary from the document, the first page. Would you like to try a sentence with us, or are you still getting caught up?
Okay, sounds interesting. It's my pleasure.
Okay. So pick a couple words from that vocabulary list and write a sentence using them, okay?
Sorry,
Okay, can
teacher.
you send the link, please?
Ooh, what did you say, Amr?
Can you send the link, please?
Yeah, sure. The link is in both chat boxes, and I'm screen sharing, so you'll be able to see it on our video as well. All right. Good luck, Amr.
Okay.
Daniel, did you have a question?
Yes, the second word, could you repeat me?
Ooh, I think
Sorry.
you had Q&A section and hang up. Yeah, hang up.
Okay.
Pick a couple words from that. If you guys have any questions, I am here. You're free to ask. And take a couple minutes to write your sentence and put it in the chat box whenever you're ready.
Michelle,
Yeah.
I would like to ask you one more time on the meaning, the wrap up. It's like to finish something.
Yeah, to wrap up is when you're finishing something or putting the last touches. So if we're just recapping or summarizing what we talked about, we're wrapping up. It's almost finished.
Okay, great, thank you.
No problem. Excellent. One sentence is already ready. Sergio, can you read your sentence for us?
Yeah. Let's log in into the system, guys. Our colleagues are already online.
Awesome sentence. And what is it? Why did you say colleagues other filial?
No, because I see it's the team, but in a different place, like another filial, another office.
Ah, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Another office. And I just have a couple small corrections for that sentence, Sergio. We can use log, not logging. Let's log in
Okay.
to the system, and we don't need an S on ours, so it would just be our. Our colleagues are already online. Great. Thanks so much. And the next sentence, let's start with our agenda. Today we are going to improve our products by using a new system at our company. Awesome sentence, Amr. So you use the word agenda. Yeah, use the word agenda. Great.
Yeah.
And I would change the preposition with to the preposition on. So let's start on our agenda. Today we're going to improve our products by using a new system in our company. In instead of at. So just a couple switching of prepositions, but other than that, it's awesome, Amr. Thank you.
You're welcome.
if you guys are already done with the words I assigned you, pick a couple words that you would like to write a sentence with and come up with another one while we're waiting for our last few sentences. So use the ones that you think are the trickiest to write a sentence. And I'll give you guys another minute and a half to finish this up.
Okay, so can I write it down or to say?
Oh yeah, if you prefer to say your sentence, then that's fine too. You're also
Okay.
welcome to write the
Okay.
sentence in the chat box.
So
However,
I have words, quarterly report and wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to approve final version of quarterly report as soon as possible. So let's wrap this up quickly.
Excellent. And I think you were missing an article there. In the beginning, you said, I need to... Oh, repeat your sentence. You're missing an article, but I don't
I
remember
said I need to approve final version of
Ah,
quarterly report.
It would be the final version of the quarterly report.
Of what did you say? Sorry.
I said the final version of the quarterly report.
Okay.
That's all. Great
Thank you.
sentence. Thank you. And Daniel, go ahead and read yours for us.
I've hung up the assistant phone when I realized about the issues by saying the Q&A section.
Okay, awesome. And when you say the assistant phone, do you mean, is the assistant a person?
Yes, sorry, assistant, yes.
Okay, so that would be an assistant with an apostrophe S, like it's their phone. So it's the assistant's phone. When I realized, we don't need the preposition about. You can put the object right against the verb. So when I realized the issues by seeing the Q&A section. Okay. Thanks very much, Daniel.
You're welcome.
And we have one more. Sergio, read us your sentence.
Okay, guys, hold on a sec. Our meeting will be starting when the light back.
So you mean like the lights went out and you're waiting for them to get back on?
Yeah.
Ooh, power outages are a bummer. When the lights, I would say when the lights get back. So we need some kind of, lights get back, like that. Excellent sentence. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go over some more vocabulary that you might hear in a conference call or some kind of meeting. And then we're going to address situations. So if you were on a conference call and something happened, what would you say or do? So let's talk about this vocabulary a little bit. If you're on a call, you might hear some of these phrases. Amr, can you read those for us?
Exactly, well, on a call. Are we all on? Checking if everyone has joined the conversation. Actually, I like this phrase, are we on, because it seems like we have an arrangement before it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, it's a great, very useful phrase.
Very useful. I like it so much, actually.
Awesome.
How about you,
Keep
Sergio?
going. Read the rest. Oh, huh?
Okay. Did everyone get the agenda? I'll keep this short. I'm afraid I didn't get that. Sergio speaking.
Excellent. Thank you. You even gave us a good example for the last one. So those are some useful vocabulary you might hear in a conference call. Does anyone have questions on these phrases or what they mean?
Yes, I'll keep this short.
Okay.
So,
Is anyone else able to explain that or give us a short definition for that phrase?
This is when unfortunately you forgot the agenda. Maybe you have looked for or check, make a double check, and yes, just say, oh, in a short time, really quickly, I can find out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So maybe if we're running out of time or wrapping things up, you'd say, well, I know we're finishing, but I'll keep this short. I just have to say something.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Adela, welcome to class.
Exactly. Well, I totally agree with you, Mikkel. Because are we all on? So we discussed the point for this meeting or this topic before, and maybe he sent a report or the comment for discussing the point that they will discuss or agree on the next meeting or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So are we all on? Would be checking to make sure everyone is in the place they need to be and hearing the audio is on and everything. And do you guys have any other questions about this first list of vocabulary and phrases you might hear? If not, we'll go on and read a little bit of the next section. Adela, can you read this section for us, the highlighted section? Adela, you're muted. Okay. So Adela, if you're having trouble with your connection or with your audio, let me know in the chat box. Otherwise, let's have Daniel read the highlighted section for us.
Yes. Use the modal verbs could, can, may, might, could. This makes your speech sound more formal. Could you speak more slowly, please? Can I add something quickly? May I just point out that?
Thanks very much. Andre, can you read the next few phrases?
I wonder if you could. Would you mind if I'd be grateful if you could. I wonder if it might be possible to.
Thank you very much. And Sergio, the last three here.
Could you possibly? Do you think you could? Would you be willing to?
Excellent. So now we're going to role play a little bit. We talked about a lot of vocabulary here, and we saw some more vocabulary on the first page. Do you guys have any questions before we start to use this vocabulary to deal with situations you might encounter in a conference call? Great. So let's start then. Number one, you're having trouble hearing. So you're on a conference call and you can't quite hear what's happening. Daniel, what would you say? Try to use some of our oops, Daniel's gone. All right. How about Sergio then? What would you say if you're having trouble hearing? What's a polite way to express the problems you're having?
Maybe if I a host, I can ask her, oh, please check if you are muted. Yes. Or maybe can you speak a little bit louder?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Using some of those modal verbs will really help make my request polite. All right. And Andre, do you have any other suggestions for what we might do in that situation if you can't hear what the person's saying?
Maybe not. I would just say I'm really sorry, but I can't hear anything. Could you, for example, could you speak more slowly, please, or something like that? It depends on the situation.
Those are great options. You might also say, I'm afraid I didn't get that. Didn't quite understand. All right. We'll move on to the next situation. Amr. Try number 2 for us. You don't understand something, so you can hear the words clearly, but you're just not sure you're getting the idea. You're a little lost about what they're saying. How would you tell them that politely?
Exactly. Well, I can say, I'm afraid I didn't get it. I get that. Can you explain it for me, please?
That would be one way to do it. Great suggestion. Aka, welcome to class.
Yes, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you, Aka?
Yes, thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. So right now we went over a lot of vocabulary and we're dealing with some role play situations. I'm giving situations and you guys try to come up with polite and formal ways to deal with this situation. We did number 1 and number 2, so let's move on to number 3. You need to temporarily hang up to adjust your equipment. Aka, do you have any ideas what you could say using maybe some of this vocabulary to help you get that point across?
Can I have a second to adjust my equipment?
Great. That would work well. And Sergio, do you have any other suggestions for this one? If you have to adjust your equipment, what vocabulary might be best to use?
In this case, I have problem, right? You understand? Or maybe my connection is not really good.
Yeah, so you have to adjust your equipment and you're going to have to get off the phone for a second. So what would you say?
Yeah, excuse me, guys, may I hang up my call for a second? I need to adjust or set up my connection or check my connection, and I'll be back in 1 minute.
Sure, good suggestion. Thanks. Going on to number 4, get a contribution from someone who hasn't spoken for a while or at all. So in this situation, we have a conference call with several people, but one person has been suspiciously quiet. They haven't given their opinion. So, Andre, what would you say if you wanted to get that person to talk?
I would use the phrase, for example, would you be willing to tell us your opinion about something?
Excellent suggestion. That last one there, I love it. Thanks. And Amr, do you have any other ideas? If you were trying to get someone else to talk and give their opinion, what of these phrases might you use?
Yes, exactly. I can say, could you please join us, or would you willing to add something?
Yeah, that would work. Thanks, Amr.
You're welcome.
All right. Aka, we're back to you. Let's do number 5. You need to tell somebody that they need to adjust their equipment. So the last time we said we needed to hang up to adjust our equipment. This time, you have to tell someone that their equipment isn't working and they need to fix it. But you have to do it politely and formally, Aka. So what do you think? What might you suggest?
Okay. Probably the connection is bad now, and I checked my computer, but my computer seems works well. So I wonder if it might be possible to adjust your computer.
Excellent suggestion. Very polite. I love it. Thanks, Aka.
Thank you.
All right. How about number 6? You have to interrupt someone. So someone's talking and you have an important message you need to give right then. Sergio, if you have to interrupt someone, how could you do it kind of politely?
Maybe I'd say, excuse me, would you mind if I add something, or maybe I can introduce some opinion or different opinion, or maybe a different point of view, or maybe add some comments in this.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Thanks, Sergio. Andre, same one. Do you have any idea if you have to interrupt someone, what you might say to make it a little polite?
I can see the phrase, can I add something quickly?
That's a good one. Thanks. All right. What about number 7? You strongly but politely disagree. So you're trying to tell someone that they're totally wrong, but you have to do it politely. Amr, what do you think? How could you say that?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you repeat it for me, please?
Yeah, so we're talking about number 7. Strongly but politely disagree with someone.
Yeah. I see. If I disagree with someone, I might say, excuse me, maybe I just point out that something wrong, but I disagree with you.
Sure, yeah, may I just point out that... Perfect.
See.
All right, and the next one is suggest a change in topic. So you want to talk about something else. You need to change the topic. Aka, what do you think about this one? Any ideas here?
Suggest topic. It would be great if you could talk about something.
Good one. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about the politics. We have a few minutes left in class, and I'd like to talk about the politics of a conference call. What is it important to remember when going into a conference call? Sergio, what do you think it's important to remember when you're entering an important meeting or a conference call?
You have your agenda. Definitely. Yes, you be polite. Doesn't matter if you wanna change the subject. If you wanna add something, you have to be all time polite, using this in polite way, and listen. And when you decide to make a comment, or maybe suggest a change the subject or some point, you definitely in this this subject. You know?
Excellent ideas. Andre, can you add anything? What is important to remember when you're going into a business meeting or a conference call?
I think that Sergio said almost everything, but maybe I would start with a phrase like, are we all on? I think it was something like, are we all on? Yes. When we have some conversation through internet or some phone chat.
Definitely a good suggestion. What about your relationships with people you work with? What is it important to have in your relationship with your boss, for instance, Andre? Can you give us more information about your relationship with your boss and how you should treat each other?
I'm sorry, I don't know the question. I don't understand.
So sometimes your boss can be a difficult person to deal with. What is it important to remember about your relationship with your boss? How can you treat your boss to avoid possible problems?
I don't have a boss now, but I think a good idea is to be very polite and respectful to him.
All right. Good suggestion, Andre. Thank you. All right. Amr, tell us, what are your responsibilities at your job?
Yeah, actually, I am a lawyer, but I work for a company for importing and exporting marine diesel engines. So I work as a consultant or something like that.
So what are your day-to-day responsibilities?
To be honest, I work for my own office, but I work for a company and I meet clients and I discussing any problems with them and I'm trying to help them to fix their problems.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah,
Amr.
you're
How
welcome.
about you, Akka? What are your responsibilities at your job? Oops, Akka's gone. All right. Do you guys have any other comments or questions before we finish up today? I had an
Exactly.
awesome... Huh?
Exactly. So, do you have any advice for conferences or meeting or private interviews or something like that?
Ooh, I think the best advice I could give is pretty similar to what you guys said about being polite and respectful, of course. But in English, as far as English goes, it's best to try to use the most words possible when you're being polite. So, like we see, we use a lot of modal verbs and even adverbs. So when we say something informally, we'd say like, oh, I need to add something, right? But in a formal business conversation, you say, oh, can I just add something quickly, please? It becomes a much longer sentence. And that's a good tip for making things formal. Just basically make words and phrases longer, add in more adjectives, more prepositions, and of course, always say, please, thank you, and excuse me. Those are some good tips, of course. All right. Any other comments or questions before we wrap up the class?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nicola. Glad to meet you today, and thanks a lot for the wonderful class today.
Yeah, it was great to have you guys, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Nick.
too. Have
Thanks,
a nice day.
everybody.
See you.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.